Hi everyone, this is another outfit of the day, or dressing with your corset, and today I'm going to show you two vintage dresses with one of my corsets underneath here. So what I'm wearing right here is a little black dress, and in my opinion, this is the little black dress that ended all other little black dresses for me. So you can see, I don't know if it's reaching to the bottom, if the bottom of the dress is in frame, but it hits right below knee length, and it's very tight fitting, very form fitting. It's a wiggle dress. Literally, it is a wiggle dress from the late 50s. And you can see that it has a very nipped in waist. The waist in this dress is 24 inches, which means I have to lace down a little bit smaller than that to be able to fit into this dress here. Let me just show you this dress from all angles so you can see the general shape of it. So a couple of little notes on the construction and the shape of this dress. It has a top half and a bottom half, and I don't mean like a shirt and a skirt, but there is a seam going around the waistline here, which helps to really nip in the waistline because they don't have to achieve this shape using darts. They can just basically sew them together in that shape, the two inverted pyramids together basically. And the bodice itself is pretty much two pieces, a front piece and a back piece, with the shaping over the bust being created by some darts here, and at the back here it's almost perfectly straight. Obviously there is the seam down the center back for the zipper, but the way that the bodice was sewn, it forces you into a certain posture, and it is a posture that I'm not really used to, and I don't know if it's because my trap muscles are a bit more overdeveloped for the average female, but I've always considered myself to have pretty broad shoulders for a woman, and this forces my shoulders both downward and backward, which forces my upper back into a certain position. However, as uncomfortable as this was for the first 15 minutes that I had on this dress, I am actually feeling pretty energetic. I don't know if it like put my spine into alignment or something, but I'm actually feeling really nicely, and my posture feels corrected. Now for the bottom, the skirt area, it's also pretty much in two pieces, a front and a back, with the shaping around the waist, partially due to some darts here. However, it has a bit of a pooch. You can see the little kangaroo pouch, and I don't know if that is simply an artifact of the way that this was sewn together, or if it was pretty common at the time to have a little bit of a lower pooch there. It's entirely possible that a lot of women, especially mature women, would develop a little bit of a kangaroo pouch if they were corseting their waists or using a girdle, and some of the flesh redistributed south. So there is a little pouch there that's kind of not going down a little bit, but I don't want to alter this dress because I think it's gorgeous as it is here. And you can see that the skirt tapers down like the quintessential wiggle dress. It stops right below my knee, which is quite flattering. It doesn't make me look too short or stocky or anything. And I can walk in it fine, in high heels or in flats. I cannot run in it, and I have a feeling that this is a type of dress where you would be wearing it to some sort of soirée where you're walking around and greeting people and eating your hors d'oeuvres, probably not too many, but not doing a whole lot of sitting down, because when I try to sit down in this dress as ladylike as possible, I do have to hike it up a little bit above my knee just to be able to have a little bit more ease in the hip area to be able to sit down without ripping the back of the dress or something. And then there's this dress, which is a little bit younger, a little sweeter. This is what I think is kind of the quintessential silhouette for New Look in the 1950s. And so you can see that it has a shelf bust here. I'm not sure if the details are coming out, but it does have a shelf bust, where the bust area is actually, has very, very fine pleats on here, and then there's a very definitive line, and then goes into a very tight waist, and then flares out into a full circle skirt. And I am wearing a petticoat under here from FairyGothMother, in addition to the corset that I have underneath here. This is absolutely an amazing material. I don't know if you can get this sort of material anymore, but it's sort of iridescent, but it's not too shiny. It's almost like shark skin, but the feeling of it is just, it's exquisite. In this particular dress, you do not have a specific partition between top and bottom. Most of the panels in the bodice flaring down into the skirt. They have sort of like a very exaggerated corset shape actually. So it comes from the underbust, tapers into the waist, and then flares out into the skirt right there. So let me show you this dress from all angles. Oh, sorry, loop is showing. So you can see that there's also a little bow detail here on the shoulder, and usually I'm not a huge fan of bows, but this is beautiful because it's not overtaking the entire dress. It's a sweet little accent, and it has these very, very long tails hanging down almost to the knee, and it adds a little bit more interest, but it doesn't overwhelm the entire piece. I find this dress a little bit easier to wear compared to the wiggle dress, not only because it's about an inch bigger in the waist, but also because the full skirt, it just gives me more leg room so I don't feel so constricted. Also, the shoulder area of this dress doesn't force my shoulders back quite to the same extent. It still forces my shoulders down, but not back to the extent that the little black dress does. You also see that the neckline is slightly different. In this dress, the scoop is a little bit lower in the front, a little bit higher in the back. And this one is, although it is a shelf bust dress and it has a lot of detail going on in the bust with all these really tiny pleats, you can see from the quarter front shot that it's actually a sort of bust minimizing silhouette, whereas the other one is a sort of very Mad Men-esque pointy boob thing going on. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Outfit of the Day or Dressing with Your Corset, and I hope it inspires you to say, I don't know, go to a vintage store or a secondhand shop, try on a few pieces with your corset on underneath. Maybe you'll find something that is really flattering and accentuates your tiny waist. If you have any questions about either of the dresses that I was wearing, if you want more details, leave me a comment below, or if you have your own vintage dresses that you like to wear over top of your corset, then feel free to post a video response, because I'm sure a lot of people would love to see other ideas. I will see you in a few days with the next video. Bye.